I will now give the floor to Palau as chairman of the AOSIS. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Distinguished co-chairs, I have the honor to deliver this statement on behalf of the Alliance of Small Island States, AOSIS. We align with the statement delivered by Iraq on behalf of the groups of 77 in China. At the outset, allow me to express my congratulations to both of you for your astute leadership and dedicated commitment in steering the work of our Preparatory Committee. We also express our appreciation to your experts and to the Secretariat for their tireless efforts, support, and cooperation. Distinguished co-chairs, over the last 5 months, AOSIS has engaged constructively and in good faith throughout the negotiations of the outcome document. We engage in the spirit of reaching a substantive, ambitious, and truly transformative global financing framework that will address the deeply entrenched inequities and shortfalls in our international financial architecture. The outcome document, Compromiso de Sevilla, approved by this preparatory committee, while not perfect, provides us with not only a roadmap to address the most pressing financial challenges of our time, but reinforces our commitment towards financing for development in a manner that strengthens multilateralism and inclusivity where it's needed most. In this regard, distinguished co-chairs, allow me to raise the following key points in explanation of position. First, in the 30 years since the recognition of SIDS as a special case for sustainable development, our countries have faced numerous external shocks and crises that have severely constrained or in some cases reversed our development gains. The SIDS situation has unfortunately remained largely unchanged since Addis Ababa. On this note, AOSIS welcomes the inclusion of language in the outcome that speaks clearly to countries in special situations, the LDCs, the LLDCs, and SIDS, and that we commit to address these needs and challenges. We appreciate that together as an international community, we are continuing to send a clear message that no one will be left behind. AOSIS also welcomes the outcome's dedicated focus on specific issues and challenges facing SIDS, such as support for the implementation of the Antigua and Barbuda Agenda for SIDS, including the Center for Excellence, the SIDS Debt Sustainability Support Service, the Island Investment Forum, and SIDS Data Hub, as well as the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index and improved trade capacity and market access for SIDS. As large ocean states, the inclusion of ocean finance in the outcome also marks a critical recognition of the ocean's central role in ensuring that no one is left behind. As SDG 14, Life Below Water, is the least funded SDG, our efforts to mobilize financial resources for marine conservation and blue economy initiatives will place the ocean as a central pillar of our sustainable development. We are also particularly pleased to see a more nuanced reference to the issue of financial action task force standards and their unintended consequences, as well as the need to address the decline in corresponding banking relationships in SIDS. Distinguished co-chairs, second, at the beginning of this process, AOSIS stressed that this outcome document must not in any way renege, rewrite, or dilute the principles, commitments, and decisions agreed upon under existing legal frameworks, including the UNFCCC and its Paris Agreement. It's for this reason, AOSIS is deeply concerned by what is becoming a pervasive practice by some delegations to constantly use UN processes to try to renegotiate and reinterpret decisions of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change Forum, particularly when it comes to climate finance. It's truly disappointing that we've had to spend the entire process defending the existing commitments under the UNFCCC and the Paris Agreement, only to resort to the bare minimum just to safeguard the integrity of existing obligations and agreements under the UNFCCC Forum. The aspiration for climate ambition requires all states parties to meet their commitments, including those on climate finance, in line with their obligations under the UNFCCC and its Paris Agreement, as well as the decisions of its states parties. We need developed countries to honor their obligations and fulfill their financial commitments. Lastly, distinguished co-chairs, on the issue of debt and debt sustainability, AOSIS reiterates that a substantial solution on the debt crises is urgently needed. We welcome that the outcome document contains many forward-looking proposals that will bring some relief to the situation. However, at the same time, we do believe in some areas the document has fallen short. We're disappointed that we did not achieve a stronger call to the G20 to urgently reform the common framework and to expand its support to SIDS. There's also considerable disappointment that we couldn't find an agreement on an international debt convention or a sovereign debt mechanism outright. While this was one of our major priorities, we do appreciate the co-facilitator's wise approach that opens the door for an intergovernmental process on debt. We call on all delegations to seize this opportunity to truly make a global sovereign debt architecture that's more inclusive and more development-oriented. In closing, to the co-facilitators of the outcome document, the distinguished ambassadors of Norway, Nepal, Mexico, and Zambia, as well as your experts, AOSIS deeply appreciates your steadfast leadership, seemingly inexhaustible commitment, and tireless efforts in steering a transparent and inclusive line-by-line text-based negotiation. Distinguished co-chairs, AOSIS welcomes the recommendation of the outcome document by the Preparatory Committee and look forward to its smooth adoption at the 4th International Conference in Sevilla, as well as its future implementation. I thank you.
I thank the distinguished representative of Palau, and this was the last statement on